Hello everyone, welcome to EduMoon tutorials. This is Thejesh, instructor for engineering chemistry. In the previous session, we have discussed the overall view of the engineering chemistry syllabus. In this session, we shall discuss some of the topics in the first chapter, water chemistry, like sources of water, hardness of water and its types, determination of hardness of water, and some of the disadvantages of hard water. Coming to the first topic, sources of water. Sources of water. We get water from mainly two resources, surface waters and underground waters, where rainwater, river water, lake water, sea water fall under the category of surface waters, which will have mainly suspended impurities. Among these, rainwater is the purest form of water, but it may get contaminated with some of the impurities like atmospheric gases. River water may get contaminated by some of the soluble salt content and some moderate inorganic and organic matter. Lake water has all the impurity content in constant composition, but it has high organic impurity content. Seawater has high content of salt, pathogens, organic impurities, etc. So it is most impure form of water. Underground waters. Underground waters. Spring or well waters is crystal clear, but it has highly dissolved salt content, and these are pure from organic impurity content. Among these, that is, among these sources of water, rainwater and seawater are not used, that is, they are unfit for drinking, that is potable, and industrial purposes, as it is very expensive to collect rainwater and seawater is very saline, and the salt content in seawater is very difficult to remove, and we want so much capital expenditure to remove the salt content from seawater. Coming to the major impurities of water, there are mainly three types of impurities in water. Number 1, suspended impurities. Number 2, dissolved impurities. Number 3, biological impurities. Suspended impurities. These type of impurities float on water, or they'll get settled down when the water is left undisturbed for some time. Example: dust, small pebbles, organic matter. These suspended impurities can be removed by screening or sedimentation. They can impart certain changes to water, like they can change color, odor of the substance, and they can increase turbidity of water. Coming to the dissolved impurities, these impurities are dissolved in the water. Example: some of the metals like iron, zinc, etc., some of the traces of agricultural and industrial wastes, and some soluble salts which may impart temporary and permanent hardness to water. They can alter, that is, these dissolved impurities can alter physical and chemical properties and can even dielectric constant of water, because due to some of the dissolved salts, ionic matter in the water may get changed. These dissolved impurities can even alter pH level of water, making the water highly acidic or alkaline. These dissolved impurities can be removed by sedimentation along with coagulation or flocculation and ultrafiltration, that is by using sand filters. The third major impurity, biological impurities. These type of impurities includes all kinds of microorganisms and pathogens that are harmful to the ecosystem in the earth. The process of removal of the biological impurities from water is known as disinfection and can be carried out by chlorination, that is by addition of chlorine, or boiling, that is by heating, or by addition of chloramine or ozone, or we can use UV radiation too. These are some of the inorganic dissolved impurities in water. Some are cationic like metals, some are anionic like bicarbonates, carbonates, etc. And some are non-ionic and dissolved that mainly consists of mud and silt particles. Some are dissolved gases like oxygen content, carbon dioxide content, met- methane content, ammonia content, hydrogen sulfide content, etc. The next important topic, hardness of water. The water which forms lather readily when mixed with soap or soap solution is called soft water. The water that does not form lather when it is mixed with soap but it forms a solid scum is called hard water. Hardness of water refers to the presence of calcium and magnesium ions in water. Bicarbonates, carbonates, chlorides, sulfates of calcium and magnesium impart hardness to water. Coming to types of hardness of water, there are two main types of hardnesses. Number one, temporary or carbonate hardness. Number two, permanent or non-carbonate hardness. Temporary hardness. It is due to bicarbonates or carbonates of calcium and magnesium. The reason for giving the temporary hardness is we can remove temporary hardness easily from water by some ordinary techniques like boiling. Since bicarbonates are soluble in water, when we heat water at 80 to 100 degrees Celsius, the bicarbonates get converted to carbonates in case of calcium, forming calcium carbonate, or hydroxides in case of magnesium, forming magnesium hydroxide, which are insoluble in water, so that the water gets free from temporary hardness. Permanent or non-carbonate hardness. It is due to chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. The reason for giving the name as permanent hardness is we cannot remove it easily by some of the ordinary techniques like boiling. But we have some more complicated techniques to remove permanent hardness from water. Temporary hardness. We have seen already that it is caused mainly by the presence of dissolved bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium and some of the other heavy metals and to some extent the carbonate of iron. The following equations depict that we can remove easily, we can remove temporary hardness from water easily. From the above equations, we can know that calcium or magnesium carbonates thus formed, that is calcium carbonate in case of calcium, magnesium hydroxide in case of magnesium, formed as products by in the above equation, that is by boiling. They are insoluble in water and are deposited as scale or sludge at the bottom of the vessel, while carbon dioxide escapes out. Thus, the water gets free from temporary hardness. This is the principle involved in removing temporary hardness. Coming to permanent hardness, as we have seen that it is caused by chlorides and sulfates of calcium, magnesium, iron, and some of the other heavy metals. The following equations depict the usage of soap due to permanent hardness imparting compounds. The products, that is in the above equations, the products, that is calcium stearate and magnesium stearate, forms as the soap gets consumed by the calcium chloride and magnesium sulfate. So the water does not form lather and forms a solid scum. The scummy substance is either calcium stearate or magnesium stearate.